Introduction. The portal has opened. Spoken by the call only the soul can hear. You didn't stumble upon this moment. It was prepared for you, long before you were ready to answer. Somewhere beyond what your eyes could see, a portal has been pulsing, waiting, listening for the sound of your becoming. And now, it has opened. There is no coincidence, no accident, only perfect timing, a meeting arranged by the energy you once buried beneath fear, but never truly lost. This is not a book you read. This is a field you enter, a space where your highest timeline is not just a dream. It is an activated current, calling you to step in fully, wholly, without hesitation. You are not brought here to fix yourself. You are brought here to remember yourself, because somewhere within you, the code is alive. It hums beneath the surface of your breath. It stirs when you quiet the noise, and now it rises. As you enter these pages, do not rush, do not grasp. Let the remembering find you. Let the activation unfold you. Let your highest timeline claim you. This is the doorway. This is the moment. Breathe deeper now, because the ritual has already begun. Chapter 1. The Awakening Breath. Spoken by the wind that has always known your name. Before every new becoming, there is a breath. Not the hurried breath of survival, not the shallow breath of habit, but the awakening breath, the breath that remembers. Right now, you are being asked to return to it. Close your eyes if you can. If not, close the eyes of your mind and feel the weight of the world loosen its grip. Inhale slowly, as if you're inhaling not just air, but life itself. Breathe into the spaces that felt forgotten. Breathe into the parts of you that went quiet when the world grew too loud. And as you inhale, know this: you're not broken. You're not behind. You're not lost. You're simply arriving, fully, finally, into the frequency of your highest self. Exhale now. Release everything that was never yours to carry. The doubt, the delay, the shoulds, and the shame. The timelines that others tried to place upon you. Let them go, not with force, with grace, because you cannot climb into your highest timeline, dragging the weight of a reality you have already outgrown. This breath is a portal. Each inhale draws you closer to your core. Each exhale releases a version of you that never belonged. Feel it, not in your mind, but in your bones. The shift is subtle at first, like the moment between night and dawn, where darkness is still present, but light has already claimed the sky. You're standing now at the threshold of a new reality. And breath is your bridge. Say this softly within yourself. With every breath, I align with the timeline where my soul is fully expressed. I breathe not to survive. I breathe to awaken. Feel the resonance of those words. Let them ripple through the unseen spaces of you, calling home every fragment you once left behind. You do not have to force the remembering. It remembers you. You do not have to strive for alignment. It lives within your natural state. With each breath, you are stepping more fully into the current of your own becoming. And as your breath settles into this new rhythm, you will feel it, the pull, the call, the unmistakable stirring within you that whispers, it's time to cross over. And so, we move forward into the call that stretches across timelines, beckoning you home. Chapter 2, The Call Across Timelines. Spoken by the frequency that never stopped calling you. There's a call that travels across dimensions, across memories you thought you forgot, across every version of you, still vibrating in unseen fields. It does not scream. It does not demand. It hums. It pulses. A low, ancient vibration, felt more in your bones than in your ears, felt more in your heart than in your mind. This is the call across timelines. It is not new. It has been with you since the first time. You dare to dream of more. It sounded in every moment. You chose love over fear, truth over comfort, expansion over certainty. It whispered to you when you stood at the edge of decisions, when you felt the restlessness that had no words, when you stared into the unknown and knew you could not stay where you were. You were never imagining it. You were never alone in it. The highest version of you, the you who already lives in your fullest potential, has been calling you home, across the fabric of reality. And now, in this moment, you are close enough to hear it clearly. It says, you are more than you have dared to embody. You are closer than you have dared to believe. You are already what you seek. But the call is not just for comfort. It is for activation. It invites you to release the timelines you settled for, the identities you outgrew, the futures you accepted because they felt safer than your full expansion. The call is asking for one thing only: your yes. Not a loud yes, not a public yes, not a perfect yes, a sacred yes, a yes that trembles, a yes that doesn't know the whole path, but knows the next breath. Say this now within the deepest chamber of your heart. I hear the call across timelines, and I answer, yes. Feel the vibration of that agreement. Not a thought, a shift, because the call, once answered, rearranges everything. The field begins to respond. The old paths begin to dissolve. The new reality begins to shimmer into form. And from this vibration, you take the first true step out of the old world and into the current of your highest becoming. The threshold is near. The old must be released. The new must be embodied. And now, we prepare to cross. Chapter 3, The Release of the Old Self. Spoken by the hand that gently untangles you from yesterday. You cannot carry the old self into the new timeline. It is not punishment. It is physics. It is resonance. The frequency of who you have been, the fears you nurtured, the doubts you wore like armor, the patterns you called protection. They belong to a timeline that no longer holds authority over you. But release does not happen through force. Release happens through honoring. So first, we honor the old self, the one who survived, the one who adapted, the one who stayed small when expansion felt too dangerous, the one who protected you when you didn't know you could protect yourself. Thank this version of you. Say softly within, thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for bringing me here. I honor you. And now I set you free, because setting yourself free requires first loving every part of you that thought it had to fight to be enough. Feel it now, the gratitude washing through your field, softening the cords that once bound you. You are not betraying your past. You are blessing it. You are not discarding yourself. You are refining your truth. And in that refinement, something beautiful happens. You create space. Space for the next vibration to enter. Space for the highest self to take root. Space for timelines that honor your full expansion, to weave into your now. Let go not with anger, but with reverence. Let go not with shame, but with awe for the path that brought you here. Because the old self was never wrong. It was simply a doorway to the deeper self you are ready to embody now. Exhale. Let the old timelines dissolve. Let the outdated agreements unravel. Let the heavy masks fall away, revealing the brilliant, uncontainable frequency you kept hidden even from yourself. This is the release. This is the shedding. This is the sacred death before the radiant rebirth. And now, lighter, freer, clearer, you are ready to step forward, ready to cross the first unseen threshold into the becoming you can no longer deny. Chapter 4, Crossing the First Threshold. Spoken by the silence that guards every sacred doorway. There's a threshold in every great transformation. It is not made of stone or wood. It is made of choice. You cannot see it with your eyes, but you can feel it. A vibrating presence standing before you. An invisible line that separates. the known from the possible, the comfortable from the extraordinary, the past from the vast, unwritten future. This is the first threshold. You stand before it now, and it asks nothing but your full presence, not your proof, not your plans, only your willingness to cross. Without dragging yesterday's chains behind you, feel the air shift around you. It thickens slightly, charged with the electric scent of becoming. The old frequency hums behind you, fading like a song you once knew by heart, but no longer wish to sing. Ahead, there is no map, no guarantees, only the certainty that what awaits is built by your trust, your breath, your bold, trembling steps into the unknown. Crossing this threshold is not a sprint. It is a surrender. It is a quiet agreement between your soul and the field. I choose growth over repetition. I choose alignment over approval. I choose to trust the current that my mind cannot yet explain. Feel that decision take root in your body, not in words, not in thought, but in the deeper knowing that vibrates beneath both. You're not leaving anything real behind. You're leaving only the echoes of who you thought you had to be. And as you step forward, even if it's only an inch in your mind, even if it's only a breath, the portal responds, the veil thins, the path clears, the energy of your highest timeline surges toward you, like a river finally released from its dam, ready to carry you into the vastness that has always been your birthright. Say this now: I cross the threshold of my highest becoming. I walk as the one who remembers. Let that declaration settle into your field. Let it ripple out across unseen worlds. Let it signal to every dimension that you have chosen to awaken fully. And with that step, subtle yet seismic, you leave behind the linear world. You enter the infinite spiral of timelines, ready to meet the self who has been calling you home. Ahead, shimmering in the distance, the mirror awaits. The mirror where all your infinite selves are reflected, waiting for you to choose. Chapter 5: The Mirror of Infinite Selves. Spoken by the reflection you are finally ready to meet. Beyond the threshold, there stands a mirror, but it is not a mirror made of glass. It is a mirror made of possibility. It does not reflect the body you wear, the titles you've gathered, the masks you've worn to survive. It reflects all that you are and all that you could become. This is the mirror of infinite selves. Each shimmer within it is a different timeline, a different version of you, breathing, pulsing, existing, in a vast field of what is possible. Some versions shrink from their own brilliance. Some chase a light they believe is outside themselves. Some stand boldly in their essence, radiating power so natural, so effortless, it bends reality around them. You are not separate from these selves. You are entangled with them. Every choice you make, every belief you nurture, every vibration you hold, tunes you into one of these infinite reflections. You do not simply observe the mirror. You select from it. Pause here. Feel the weight of that truth. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are not waiting for destiny to find you. You are an active participant in weaving the thread of your own becoming. The mirror does not lie. It shows you the sum of your vibration, the sum of your assumptions, your permissions, your willingness to expand. Look closely now, not with your eyes, with your soul. Which version of you is calling louder? Which one feels like home, even if it terrifies you a little? That is the self aligned with your highest timeline. The self that already carries the codes of your fullest expression. It is not the safest version. It is the truest. And to step toward it, you must do something rare, something sacred. You must choose, not wish, not hope, not wait for proof. You must choose with your being, before evidence appears, before comfort arrives, before certainty is given. Say this within yourself: I see my highest self, I recognize the vibration of my expansion, and I choose to align with it now. Feel the mirror respond. The image sharpens. The path begins to glow faintly beneath your feet. Because when you choose, the field listens, and your reality, your body, your future begin to bend toward the self you're finally willing to embody. This is not fantasy. This is frequency. And your choice is the tuning fork that shifts worlds. Ahead now, the invitation solidifies. The future self you saw in the mirror steps forward, offering you their hand, offer you a blueprint for the becoming you are ready to live. And all you have to do is say yes. Again, deeper this time, with your whole field. Chapter 6, Choosing the Highest Frequency. Spoken by the current that knows your truest name. Standing before your own infinite possibilities. The air becomes charged, not with pressure, but with potential. You can feel it vibrating around you, as if the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting for your decision, not because it doubts you, but because it honors your sovereignty. In this mirror of selves, every version already exists, but the one you experience, the one you embody, will be determined by a single act, the conscious choosing of your frequency. Choosing is not an emotion. It is not wishing harder. It is not convincing yourself you are ready, while still vibrating with fear underneath. Choosing is a recalibration of your entire field. It is the cellular agreement that says, I no longer vibrate with limitation. I no longer negotiate with mediocrity. I align only with the field of my fullest expansion. And when you choose, truly choose, everything within you shifts. Your breath deepens. Your mind softens. Your chest opens. Not because you've figured out, but because you've finally remembered. This choice is the true ritual. Every breath you take after this choice becomes a prayer of embodiment. Every step you take becomes a declaration to the quantum field. This is who I am now. But know this, choosing the highest frequency is not a one-time event. It is a continual practice of remembering, of returning, of realigning when old patterns whisper your name. Because the old timeline will test you, not to punish you, but to make sure your yes is rooted, not shallow. So feel it now. Inhale into your heart. Exhale into your power. Anchor yourself into the vibration of the self you glimpsed in the mirror. Say this within your entire being. I choose my highest frequency. I tune my field to the truth of my expansion. I am ready to live the reality that once lived only in my dreams. And with that, the space around you shifts. The pathways of energy reconfigure. The old agreements loosen and fall away. The highest self, the one who has been calling across timelines, steps closer, their presence a confirmation. You are ready. You are ready to receive the invitation to a new architecture of self, to a new current of creation. Ahead, your future self waits, not to pull you forward, but to offer you the blueprint you already carry in your bones. It is time to receive it. It is time to become it. Chapter 7, The Future Self Invitation. Spoken by the voice of a life already waiting for you. Ahead of you, the air thickens, not with weight, but with presence. You can feel it, a pulse, as if something familiar and yet vast beyond recognition is reaching through the veil. And then you see them, not as a stranger, not as a fantasy, but as a reflection of the deepest truth you've always carried. Your future self. They stand radiant, not perfect, but whole, not unscarred, but unapologetically alive. They are the embodiment of every sacred choice you have yet to make, every act of courage you are about to claim, every dream you are ready to breathe into form. And they are not ahead of you. They are within you, existing now in a dimension layered just beyond your current awareness, waiting only for your permission. to collapse the distance. They extend their hand, not to pull you forward, but to invite you inward, inward to the codes they carry, inward to the wisdom already encoded in your cells, inward to the life that is not built from fear, but from frequency. This is the future self invitation. It is not a demand. It is not a command. It is an offering, a sacred, whispered, powerful offering. Will you allow yourself to become who you already are? Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, feel the gravity of this invitation. It is soft, but it is absolute. It asks you to release every story that says you're not ready, every mask that says you're not worthy, every delay that says you must wait until you are better, stronger, more deserving. Because the future self you see is not a reward for your perfection. They are the natural unfolding of your remembrance. Say this now, with breath full of soul. I accept the invitation of my future self. I allow the blueprint to awaken within me. I step into the life already waiting for me to remember it. Feel the fields between you blur. Feel the timelines collapse into coherence. The codes that once felt distant now hum beneath your skin. The path that once felt uncertain now unfold from within your own heartbeat. And the invitation, once accepted, begins to shift everything. The blueprint activates. The architecture of your highest timeline begins to build itself inside your body, your mind, your breath. Ahead, the next phase beckons, receiving the blueprint that has been carried for you by the self who never forgot. It is time to not only see it, but to receive it fully. Chapter 8, Receiving the Blueprint, spoken by the architecture hidden in your remembering. The moment you accept the invitation, something ancient stirs, not outside of you, but within you. It feels like a remembering, but deeper. It feels like a calling, but louder. It is the unfolding of the blueprint your soul has always carried, a sacred map etched into the very fabric of your being, waiting for the moment you would become, quiet enough, ready enough, bold enough to receive it. You do not need to earn it. You do not need to find it. It has always been yours. All that is required now is surrender. Surrender not as defeat, but as opening, as expansion, as a radical act of trust. That what is rising inside you is true. Close your eyes if you can. Place your awareness into your chest, your solar plexus, your spine. There, quietly pulsing, is the template of your becoming. It carries no fear. It holds no confusion. It speaks in vibration, in rhythm, in a language older than words. Listen without ears. See without eyes. Feel the codes uncoiling within you, threading themselves into your field, restructuring your frequency to match the highest timeline you have chosen to embody. There may be no fireworks. There may be no immediate sign. But inside, something fundamental is changing. Your alignment is rewriting your access. Your choice is collapsing distances between what you once dreamed and what you are now capable of living. Say this within the silent temple of your being. I receive the blueprint of my highest becoming. I allow the architecture of my new timeline to unfold within me. I trust the intelligence that rises from my soul. And as you say it, breathe deeply into the shifts occurring. Feel how timelines bend in response. Feel how realities reweave themselves around the new vibrational signature you're transmitting. You're not asking the universe to create something for you. You're allowing yourself to access what was always encoded within you. The blueprint is not a destination. It is a frequency. It is the resonance of the life you were born to live. Free, expanded, luminous, inevitable. Now, as the blueprint anchors itself into your field, the next step is clear. You are ready to move from acceptance to activation. You are ready for the sacred decision that seals the shift. Chapter 9, The Sacred Decision. spoken by the knowing that no longer hesitates. There comes a moment in every great transformation where decision must meet destiny, where longing must give way to commitment, where dreaming must yield to declaration. This is that moment. The sacred decision is not made with logic. It is not crafted through careful weighing of risks and benefits. It is felt. It rises like a wave from the depths of your being, calling you not to think, but to become. Right now, you are being asked to make that decision, not with your mind, but with your frequency, a decision that vibrates through your bones, your breath, your blood, telling every cell of your body, we are no longer available for anything less than full alignment. The sacred decision is an initiation. It marks the end of negotiations with the small self. It silences the inner debates of doubt. It dissolves the subtle contracts you made with fear. This is not the decision to try. It is the decision to be the vibration of your highest timeline, to be the frequency of your fully expressed self, to be the carrier of the codes you just received. Feel the gravity of it. Feel the weight of all timelines collapsing around you, until only one remains, the one where you walk awake, aware, activated. You have nothing to prove. You have only to choose. Say this now, not as a whisper, but as a command that echoes through all dimensions. I make the sacred decision. I choose my highest timeline with all that I am. I collapse every reality that does not match my becoming. Feel the universe respond. Feel your field sharpen, tighten, ignite. You have sent the signal. You have cast the vote. You have claimed the life that once waited quietly on the edge of your choosing. And from this sacred ground, the energy of trust rises naturally, not as a concept, but as a living current within your being. Because after the sacred decision, you are no longer walking toward your destiny. You are walking as it. Ahead, the path unfolds through a different rhythm, the frequency of trust that now pulses through your every step. Chapter 10, The Frequency of Trust, spoken by the river that never questions its own flow. Trust is not a thought. It is a frequency. It is the silent hum beneath a bird's wings, the unseen current that carries the river home, the invisible architecture of every seed that knows how to bloom. Trust is natural. It is the mind that complicates it. It is the old stories that teach you to fear what you cannot see. But here now, after the sacred decision, you're being invited to return to the original rhythm, the frequency of trust that you were born knowing. Feel it rise within you. It's not loud. It doesn't shout. It simply is a quiet, magnetic certainty that says, I do not need proof to proceed. I do not need guarantees to continue. I walk, and the path appears beneath my feet. Trust is not passive. It is not waiting for signs to feel safe. Trust is active alignment with the unseen forces that respond to your vibration before your senses can catch up. In the frequency of trust, you stop asking how and start embodying, of course. You stop bargaining with your dreams. Stop doubting your worth. Stop retreating when the future feels too vast. Instead, you move forward as if the highest timeline is inevitable. Because when you hold that frequency, it is. Say this now within yourself. I align with the frequency of trust. I move not from fear, but from knowing. I surrender the need to control. And in doing so, I command my reality through resonance. Breathe that in. Feel how it softens the noise. Feel how it dissolves the urgency. Feel how it strengthens the signal you are sending to the quantum field. Trust is the bridge between your decision and your manifestation. It holds you steady when the old patterns try to pull you back. It carries you forward when your mind can't yet see the full unfolding. Because in the highest timelines, trust is not optional. It is the currency of creation. And now that trust flows through you, you are ready to step into the liminal space. The space where realities shift not instantly, but inevitably. You are ready to walk between worlds, where the old dissolves and the new begins to whisper its first songs. Chapter 11, Walking Between Worlds. Spoken by the breath that bridges what was and what will be. There is a sacred place, hidden between endings and beginnings, between the crumbling of the old and the emergence of the new. You're walking there now, between worlds. This is the space where gravity shifts, where familiar landmarks dissolve, where what once defined you becomes weightless, irrelevant, unnecessary. You feel it as a soft disorientation, not because you are lost, but because you're no longer bound to the coordinates of who you used to be. Walking between worlds is not easy. It demands patience without proof. It demands trust without evidence. It demands presence without certainty. Here, the mind may scramble for answers. The old fears may stir like echoes. Was it real? Did I make the right choice? What if nothing changes? But listen closely. These are not warnings. They're the last breaths of the old reality, trying to tether you back into familiarity. You owe them no loyalty. You owe them no explanation. You're not lost. You are in passage, and passage is sacred. It is here between worlds that your frequency strengthens, that your codes anchor more deeply, that your alignment is tested not by obstacles, but by the subtle invitation to return to smaller selves. Refuse it. Refuse to shrink to fit a reality you already outgrew. Refuse to doubt what your soul has confirmed. Refuse to translate your expansion through the language of limitation. Instead, keep moving. Each step you take, even if it feels slow, even if it feels uncertain, is a weaving of the new reality into form. Say this softly within your being. I walk between worlds with trust. I honor the sacred passage. I move forward even when the way is invisible. Breathe into that. Anchor into that. Let it become your oxygen, because soon, sooner than you think, the new timeline will crystallize around you. The air will clear. The path will reveal itself, not because you forced it, but because you became it. And when it does, you will no longer be the seeker. You will be the embodiment of your highest identity, the self you saw shimmering in the mirror, the self who has already crossed into this new field. And now, as the veil thins, you are ready for the next sacred act, embodying the new identity. Chapter 12, Embodying the New Identity. Spoken by the light that no longer hides itself. You have crossed the threshold. You have accepted the invitation. You have walked between the crumbling worlds. Now, you stand at the edge of embodiment. This is where frequency becomes form, where vibration takes shape in breath, in voice, in movement, in being. Embodying the new identity is not about acting. It is about aligning so deeply with your truest self that the external world has no choice but to rearrange itself around you. This new identity is not a costume you wear. It is a remembering of your original essence. It is the radiant self that lived quietly beneath the layers of fear, doubt, and delay, now rising, unapologetic, uncontainable. Feel it within you. The new identity does not ask, "Am I ready?" It knows, "I am already." The new identity does not bargain with the past. It blesses it, then walks forward without looking back. The new identity does not wait for external validation. It carries its own confirmation within its very breath. You are not becoming someone new. You are becoming who you have always been, without interruption, without apology, without delay. Pause here. Breathe deeply. Visualize yourself stepping into this frequency as you would step into sunlight after a long winter. No hesitation, no resistance, only the soft, certain expansion of a soul no longer willing to remain unseen. Say this now, as a vow whispered to your future. I embody my highest self now. I align my thoughts, my choices, my energy with the timeline where my soul is fully expressed. Feel the energy of that declaration settle into your muscles, your bones, your voice. You're no longer visiting this timeline. You're living it. And as you embody this new identity, life will respond. People will shift. Opportunities will rearrange. Timelines will accelerate or dissolve based on your unwavering resonance. You're the architect now. You are the portal now. You are the vibration now. And the next step in this sacred journey is to learn how to sustain and deepen this embodiment through conscious daily alignment. Ahead, the path leads into the sacred practice, the living ritual that keeps your highest frequency anchored in every moment you breathe. It is time for the ritual of alignment. Chapter 13, the ritual of alignment, spoken by the pulse that synchronizes worlds. Alignment is not a single choice. It is a daily devotion, a living ritual, a sacred agreement renewed with every breath, every thought, every small, unseen act of becoming. The ritual of alignment is how you stabilize the new frequency. It's how you tell the universe, again and again, I'm serious about this becoming. I do not visit my highest self. I live as them. And this ritual is simpler than your mind would have you believe. It begins always with stillness. Each day, even for a few moments, you close your eyes, quiet the noise, and return inward. You breathe, not to survive, but to synchronize. You feel the vibration of the highest version of yourself, the version you chose, humming just beyond the edges of your skin. And you ask, what will my highest self choose today? How would they think? How would they move? What would they release without resistance? And whatever answers rise, you honor them, not through pressure, but through presence. You walk differently. You speak differently. You think differently. Not because you're trying to be someone else, but because you're finally allowing yourself to be all of you. This is the ritual. Small, sacred choices, stacked like stones across the river of time, building a bridge so strong. Your highest timeline becomes not a distant possibility, but a tangible, touchable reality. Say this now. I choose daily devotion to my highest self. I honor my alignment through action, thought, and vibration. I live my sacred becoming one breath at a time. Feel that vow deep in your presence. The ritual of alignment is not about perfection. It is about return. Return to truth. Return to frequency. Return to the remembering that you are not separate from the life you are creating. You are not performing your highest self. You are permitting them. And the more you align, the more reality softens in your hands. The more you speak, and your words bend the field. The more you move, and the quantum waves rearrange to match your signal. You become the ritual. You become the bridge. And from this foundation of daily alignment, you now step into a deeper layer of creation, speaking the reality into being, because the next act of power is not just to align silently, but to speak your world into existence. Chapter 14, speaking the reality into being, spoken by the sound that sculpts existence. In the beginning, there was not light, there was not form, there was sound, vibration spoken into the void, a sacred utterance that shaped the unseen into the seen. And now, you are invited to remember. You carry that same power. Your words are not empty. They are tools of creation. When you speak from alignment, you do not simply describe your world. You command it into being. The ritual of alignment roots you in the highest frequency, but it is speaking the reality into being That accelerates the manifestation of that frequency into tangible form. Every word you release becomes a seed planted in the quantum soil. Every sentence you choose becomes architecture in the invisible blueprint. The question is not, is it working? The real question is, what am I speaking into existence right now? Feel the gravity of this. Your language is a wand. Your voice is a portal. Your breath carries codes of creation, waiting for your conscious direction to embody the highest timeline. You must speak as if it already lives within you, because it does. You do not say, I hope to become. You say, I am becoming. You do not say, maybe someday. You say, now, already, done. And you say it, not from desperation, not from force, but from a deep knowing that when you speak aligned truth, the universe cannot help but respond. Say this now. I speak my highest timeline into being. My words align with my expansion. My voice carries the vibration of my destiny. Let that vibration hum through your bones. Let it echo into the unseen. Let it ripple out into timelines, where reality reshapes itself to match your declaration. Because words, spoken from coherence, collapse probability into inevitability. You're not describing. You are commanding. You're not asking. You are aligning. And as your words become vessels of your truth, the field around you begins to move differently. Faster, clearer, brighter. You speak, and the world listens. You declare, and reality weaves. You breathe, and the timeline responds. And so, as you master this sacred speaking, you are invited deeper still, into a state beyond words, where power hums not in noise, but in presence. Ahead, you enter the next sacred chamber, the silence of knowing. Chapter 15, the silence of knowing. Spoken by the stillness where all things begin. There is a place beyond words, beyond thought, beyond even breath. It is not emptiness. It is not absence. It is the silence of knowing. When you have aligned your frequency, when you have spoken your reality into being, there comes a point where the most powerful thing you can do is be still. Still not because you have given up, but because you have finally entered the vibration of inevitability. Still not because you are waiting, but because you are being in the silence of knowing. There are no questions left to ask, no proofs left to demand, no external confirmations needed, because here you feel reality rearranging itself around you, not through effort, but through presence. It hums in your cells. It breathes with you. It vibrates outward, touching timelines, touching lives, drawing what matches your field without the friction of force. You realize you are no longer chasing outcomes. You are radiating inevitabilities. You are no longer performing hope. You are transmitting certainty. The old paradigm taught you to hustle, to prove, to strive. But in the highest timelines, creation is an act of beingness. You don't grasp. You don't beg. You stand. You open. You allow. And in that stillness, the codes you have activated begin to assemble around you in ways your mind could never predict. Say this now. I enter the silence of knowing. I allow the field to respond to my becoming. I trust the invisible architecture at work within my life. Breathe into that silence, not rushing it, not demanding it, becoming it. Because silence is not passive. It is active faith. It is the magnetic pulse of a soul so certain of its own expansion. It does not need noise to validate its power. Here in this silence, you are the command. You are the bridge. You are the breathing ritual that reality recognizes and responds to. Stay here as long as needed. Return here whenever the noise of the old world tries to lure you back into proving. Because from this silence, true creation emerges. And from this silence, You prepare to seal the work you have done, to anchor your highest timeline permanently into your field. Ahead, the final step of this phase awaits: the sealing of the timeline. Chapter 16, the sealing of the timeline. Spoken by the thread that binds becoming into being. You have crossed. You have chosen. You have spoken. You have stood in silence. Now comes the sacred act that anchors the invisible into the undeniable, the sealing of the timeline. Until now, your new timeline was a vibration, a field, a magnetic potential swirling around you, responding to your every breath, your every choice. But sealing it, that is the moment it becomes permanent. Not because external reality demanded it, but because you declare it complete. To seal the timeline is to send a final, unwavering signal to the quantum field. It is done. It is chosen. I'm living it now. Not someday. Not when you feel ready. Not when proof appears. Now. This is how creators move. This is how masters embody. They do not wait for confirmation. They create confirmation through unwavering frequency. Feel this now. The timeline you have chosen. The highest version of yourself. The destiny that once flickered as a distant dream is no longer separate from you. It breathes with you. It moves with you. It is you. You have activated the codes. You have embodied the energy. You have aligned your voice, your breath, your being. And now, you seal it into your reality with a declaration so deep, it vibrates across dimensions. Say this now, not from your mind, but from the deepest, oldest part of your soul. I seal my highest timeline into my being. I anchor my destiny through my frequency. It is done. It is done. It is done. Feel the resonance of those words. Ripple outward from your heart, wrapping your field in a cocoon of certainty, weaving the new reality tightly into the fabric of now. There is no going back. There is no shrinking down. You have crossed the threshold and burned the bridge behind you, not in anger, but in reverence. You are no longer a visitor to your highest timeline. You are its permanent resident. And from this place of embodiment, you now begin to walk your first true steps on the new path you have chosen, not as a seeker, not as a student, but as a living emanation of the destiny you once only dreamed of. Ahead, the journey continues. The first steps on the new path. Chapter 17, the first steps on the new path. Spoken by the ground that rises to meet your becoming. The timeline is sealed. The codes are active. The frequency is stable. And now, you take your first steps on the new path you have called into existence. These steps are not just actions. They are declarations. Each one says to the universe, I'm no longer waiting to become. I am living as who I truly am. The first steps may feel subtle. A shift in how you move through your day. A difference in how you carry your energy. A quiet, magnetic certainty that flows through your smallest choices. But know this, in the quantum field, the first steps create massive ripples. The new path does not require you to rush. It requires you to trust the movement itself. Walk slowly if you must. Walk carefully if you feel called. But walk with presence, with sovereignty, with the deep, grounded awareness that you're no longer a guest in your own destiny. Feel your feet touching the earth differently, each step more rooted, each breath more aligned. You are not chasing a dream anymore. You are embodying a reality that already recognizes your frequency. And with each step forward, the landscape around you begins to respond. New opportunities shimmer just at the edge of your awareness. New connections, new synchronicities, new timelines, all magnetized by your unwavering resonance. The old world may still echo behind you. Old fears, old voices, old doubts, whispering from the fading distance. Do not turn back. You are not who you were. You are not bound to what once claimed you. You are walking forward, and the world you are meant to meet is walking toward you. Say this now. Each step I take is a declaration of my becoming. I walk in alignment with my highest timeline. I trust the ground rising to meet me. Breathe into that. Let it settle into your spine, into your stride, into the field of possibility blooming around you. Because these first steps are sacred. They're not small. They're the tremors of a destiny awakening beneath your feet. You're not alone in this journey. The field hears you. The path prepares itself before you. And soon, the signs will appear. Clear, undeniable, shimmering in synchronicity. Because once you walk as your highest self, the universe must respond. It is law. It is resonance. It is inevitable. Ahead, the confirmation begins. Signs, synchronicities, and sacred confirmation that you have truly shifted your reality. Chapter 18, Signs, Synchronicities, and Sacred Confirmation. Spoken by the unseen hand arranging your miracles. When you align with your highest timeline, when you choose it, seal it, embody it, the universe begins to speak back, not in the language of noise, but in the sacred dialect of signs, synchronicities, and confirmation. You are not imagining it. You're not reading too deeply. You are witnessing the field responding to your vibration. You may notice it first in subtle ways. A number repeating at the perfect moment. A song that answers a silent question in your heart. A chance encounter that feels too aligned to be random. These are not coincidences. They are echoes of your new frequency, reflected back to you through the mirrors of reality. The field you walk through is alive. It listens. It rearranges itself based on the signal you emit. And because you have chosen your highest timeline, because you have sealed it, the signs now serve as confirmations, guiding you, affirming you, celebrating you. Each synchronicity is a whisper. You are on the path. Keep walking. The unseen is becoming seen. Do not dismiss these moments. Do not belittle their power. In the higher dimensions, synchronicity is normal. It is the natural language of a reality built from intention. Say this now. I recognize the sacred signs. I trust the synchronicities as confirmation of my alignment. I celebrate the whispers of my highest path. Feel your field open wider with that acceptance. Feel the energy around you brighten, sparkling with the shimmer of connection, of rightness, of inevitability. Because when you honor the signs, you amplify them. When you celebrate the synchronicities, you attract more. When you trust the sacred confirmations, you stabilize your new reality even more deeply. This is not magic. It is mechanism. It is the sacred mechanics of resonance and reflection. And as the signs continue to weave around you, you'll also notice something else. The old world will try, once more, to echo itself, to pull you back, to question, to test. But now, you are prepared. You recognize the difference between an echo and a signal, between a memory and a destiny. And when the echoes of the old world arise, you will not fear. You will stand rooted in your new field, knowing you have already crossed the threshold and no longer belong to what once limited you. Ahead, you will meet those echoes with grace as you move even deeper into the art of sustaining the frequency. Chapter 19, The Echoes of the Old World, spoken by the clarity that no longer gets lost in noise. As you walk deeper into your highest timeline, the old world will not disappear instantly. It will echo, softly at first, then sometimes loudly, as if testing your new foundation. Old thoughts may surface, old doubts may stir, old habits may whisper, seducing you with the familiarity of the small, the safe, the known. But these are not signs of failure. They are signs of expansion. You are not regressing. You are clearing. You're not being pulled back. You're passing through the remnants of self that no longer holds authority over you. The echoes are not commands. They are memories, and memories lose their power when you refuse to reattach meaning to them. Feel this now. When an old fear arises, you do not need to fight it. You simply breathe and say, "That no longer belongs to me." When an old limitation resurfaces, you do not collapse. You observe it and affirm, "I am not available for this timeline." When the old world calls your name, you answer not with reaction, but with remembrance. I have already chosen. I walk a new path now. Because echoes have no creative power. They only have the power you give them. And you, standing rooted in your aligned frequency, know better now. You know that feeling discomfort does not mean you are failing. It means you are integrating. You know that sensing old patterns does not require your obedience. It requires your sovereignty. Say this within yourself now. I recognize the echoes of the old world without attachment. I honor my journey without returning to limitation. I remain loyal to my highest timeline. Feel the authority of those words, not as armor, as truth. You're not fighting the old world. You are outgrowing it. You're transcending it. And as you continue to walk forward, those echoes will grow fainter, their pull weaker, until one day they are nothing more than distant memories of a self you blessed, released, and transcended. Because the more you stay loyal to your new frequency, the stronger your field becomes, the more solid the new reality becomes. And now, you are ready to learn the art of sustaining the frequency, not through effort, but through effortless alignment. Chapter 20, Sustaining the Frequency, spoken by the quiet current that nourishes becoming. Alignment is not a destination. It is a way of being, a continual unfolding, a sacred tending to the vibration you have chosen to live. Sustaining the frequency means understanding that your highest timeline is not a one-time crossing. It is a living relationship between your soul and the field. It means you wake up each day, not wondering if you're still aligned, but choosing again and again to become the alignment itself. It is a return, a remembering, a re-choosing with every breath. Feel this now. Every morning, when your eyes open, you are at a crossroads between worlds. The pull of old habits may still whisper. The gravity of comfort may still hum in the background. But you're no longer the one who surrenders to noise. You're the one who breathes, centers, and anchors yourself into the frequency of your becoming. Say this within yourself as the first act of every day. I rise in alignment with my highest self. I walk as the embodiment of my chosen timeline. I nourish my field with intention, clarity, and presence. Let these words not just pass through your mind. Let them settle into your breath. Let them root in your steps. Daily alignment ritual expandito para approfondimento. Each day, nourish your frequency with simple, sacred acts. Stillness. Begin with 5 conscious breaths, feeling the universe inhale and exhale through you. No rush, no agenda, just presence. Declaration. Speak your reality into being, affirming the timeline you are living. Movement. Move your body with reverence. Even if it's a slow stretch or a mindful walk, let your body feel the frequency of freedom. Reflection. Pause once midday. Ask, is this thought, this action, this feeling aligning with my highest self? Adjust without judgment. Gratitude. Before sleep, offer thanks not just for what you have, but for the unseen miracles already rearranging around you. Integration practice. Close your eyes now. Imagine the vibration you chose earlier. Your highest self, your purest timeline. See it as a golden light in your chest. Steady, strong, unwavering. Visualize it expanding outward. Into your mind, your voice, your hands, your breath, your path. With each exhale, see the light extending beyond you, touching your relationships, your opportunities, your future. With each inhale, draw that light deeper into your center, fortifying your field, deepening your certainty. Say softly, I sustain my frequency through devotion, not discipline, through presence, not pressure, through remembering, not resisting, and feel how natural it becomes. This new way of being, how effortless it is to live as the bridge between the invisible and the seen. You no longer try to stay aligned. You simply are. You have woven the highest version of yourself into every breath, every thought, every step. And now you are ready for more, because sustaining the frequency is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a deeper expansion, beyond what you have imagined, beyond what you have dared to claim. Ahead, the next portal's open, the next field call. The journey does not close here. It evolves, and the next movement is beautiful. The Daily Expansion Practice. Chapter 21, The Daily Expansion Practice. Spoken by the sunrise that knows you are infinite. Sustaining your frequency is powerful, but there is another level waiting, a deeper, more luminous way of living. Daily expansion. Expansion is not about force. It is not about endlessly chasing the next achievement. True expansion is the natural blooming of a soul aligned with its highest frequency. It happens gently, but it is unstoppable. The daily expansion practice is how you allow your highest self to stretch, to breathe, to unfold more fully. With each sunrise you greet, it is the invitation you extend to life itself. Show me how vast I can become today. It is not about fixing yourself. It is about expressing more of what you already are. The practice, morning awakening. Each morning, before touching the external world, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Feel your pulse. Feel your breath. Ask yourself silently, where can I expand today? What part of my being wants more space to shine? Wait, listen. The answers will come, not as words, but as feelings, as visions, as gentle inner pulls. Maybe it's courage. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's forgiveness. Maybe it's creativity. Whatever rises, whisper to it. You are safe to expand now. Then move into your day carrying that permission. Let your actions, your decisions, your presence be led by that expansion. You will notice conversations flow more easily. New ideas spark like fireflies around you. Opportunities once invisible become suddenly obvious. The old boundaries of who you were dissolve naturally. Midday reflection. Pause halfway through your day. Take a single deep breath. Ask, am I contracting or expanding right now? If you feel contraction, tightness, doubt, hesitation, pause. No judgment, no force. Simply breathe. Re-anchor into your intention. I choose to expand even here, even now. An expansion returns. Evening gratitude activation. At the end of the day, before sleep, gather the evidence of your expansion. Whisper to yourself, today I stretched. Today, I said yes to more of myself. Today, I honored my becoming. Feel the pride of that acknowledgement. Feel the celebration already vibrating in your field. You're no longer living a life of survival. You are living a life of continual unfolding. You're no longer holding your breath, waiting for life to happen. You are breathing life into existence with every choice. This is the daily expansion practice. It is simple. It is profound. It is transformative beyond measure. Because when you expand daily, your timeline doesn't just stay steady. It accelerates. It opens new pathways faster. It reveals dimensions of possibility you never dared to dream. And from this place of ongoing expansion, you are ready to enter an even more sacred space. Quantum reflections, where the mirrors of reality reflect back not who you were, but who you are continually becoming. Chapter 22, Quantum Reflections, spoken by the mirror that shows not what you are, but what you are becoming. In the expanded life, reality no longer simply happens to you. It becomes your reflection. Every moment, every encounter, every circumstance that arises is not random. It is quantum feedback, the mirror of your frequency, the whisper of your becoming. Quantum reflections are not about judgment. They are about awareness. They are opportunities to ask each day, what is the world showing me about my vibration? Where am I being called to expand even more? When you live in quantum reflection, you're no longer a passive observer. You are an active sculptor of timelines. You understand that every challenge is a mirror asking, are you still aligned with your highest self? You understand that every blessing is a mirror celebrating. You are living your chosen destiny. The quantum reflection practice. At the end of each day, pause in stillness. Review your interactions, your emotions, your experiences. Not with critique, but with curiosity. Ask yourself, where today did I mirror trust? Where today did I mirror contraction? Where today did I mirror expansion, love, sovereignty? Feel into each moment without story, without shame. Simply observe. Here I aligned deeply. Here I forgot, and I can realign. This is mastery, not perfection, not pretending. Mastery is awareness plus choice, repeated daily. And in this space of reflection, you reclaim your greatest power, the ability to choose again, moment after moment, breath after breath, day after day, because the quantum field is always listening, always responding, always offering the next mirror, not to punish you, not to test you, but to refine you, to remind you, to elevate you. Say this now. I honor the reflections of my reality. I choose to see through the eyes of mastery. I align and realign with grace, devotion, and sovereignty. Breathe that knowing into your field. Feel how empowering it is to no longer fear reality, but to dance with it, to co-create with it, to sculpt your world with conscious breath and intention. You're not trapped by circumstance. You're not the victim of randomness. You are the artist, painting your reality across the canvas of the infinite. And now, from this place of empowered reflection, you are ready to step into the final chamber of this sacred journey, the journey beyond the journey, because this is not an ending. It is a beginning that never ends. Chapter 23, The Journey Beyond the Journey, spoken by the endless horizon calling you home. You have crossed thresholds. You have chosen new frequencies. You have spoken realities into existence. You have stood in the silence of becoming. And now you stand here, not at the end, but at the edge of infinity, because the journey you began was never meant to conclude. It was meant to awaken you into a life where becoming is constant, where expansion is natural, where evolution is inevitable. There is no final arrival. There is only deepening. There is only widening. There is only the endless, sacred unfolding of all you already are. The journey beyond the journey is the life where your alignment becomes your language. Your expansion becomes your signature. Your presence becomes your offering to the world. You live not seeking wholeness, but expressing it. You walk not searching for meaning, but weaving it into every step you take. You breathe not to survive, but to create, to remember, to be. Feel this truth now. You were never broken. You were never behind. You were never lost. You were always a masterpiece in motion, a soul remembering itself through the beautiful art. of experience. Say this softly within your sacred space. I walk the journey beyond the journey. I expand without end. I live as the becoming I once dreamed. Feel the gravity and lightness of those words. Feel the way they settle into your bones, into your future, into the timelines yet unborn. You are a portal. You are a bridge. You are the dream of your ancestors realized, and the prayer of future generations whispered into form. You do not end here. You continue, rising, expanding, remembering. The portal remains open within you. The frequency hums steady in your field. The codes vibrate in every breath you take. You are free. You are infinite. You are home. And every day forward is a new canvas, awaiting the touch of your conscious becoming. If this journey has stirred something inside you, if you felt the activation awakening in your bones, if you remembered even a fragment of who you truly are, then share this sacred transmission. Share this light. Subscribe to the channel. Return here often, because every day we bring new frequencies to nourish your soul. Thank you for walking this journey. You are seen. You are celebrated. You are loved. Until we meet again, keep becoming. Share this light. Subscribe to the channel. Return here often, because every day we bring new frequencies to nourish your soul. Thank you for walking this journey. You are seen. You are celebrated. You are loved. Until we meet again, keep becoming.